我一直在想关于 AI 的一个问题。现在很多的报道都会去夸奖 AI 有多么多么的厉害，每一次的高难度测试它都能拿到满分。但是当我们普通人在现实生活中去用它解决一个办法的时候，它却经常会出现失智的情况。OpenAI 前首席科学家伊利亚·舒兹克维尔最近道破了真相。他提出了一个非常有意思的类比：现在的模型就像那种刷了1万小时的职业选手，他背下了所有的套路和证明技巧，但相比于那些只练习了100小时却更有灵活性的天赋型选手， AI 缺少了一种对于现实世界的真实感悟。
Now, should we actually begin here? I think this is an interesting discussion.
Sure.
I think your point about, well, from the average person's point of view, nothing is that different will continue being true even into the singularity.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, interesting.
So the thing which I was referring to, not feeling different, is, okay, so such and such company announced some difficult to comprehend dollar amount of investment.
Right.
I don't think anyone knows what to do with that.
Yeah.
But I think that the impact of AI is going to be felt. AI is going to be diffused through the economy. There are very strong economic forces for this. And I think the impact is going to be felt very strongly.
When do you expect that impact? I think the models seem smarter than their economic impact would imply.
Yeah, this is one of the very confusing things about the models right now. How to reconcile the fact that they are doing so well on evals.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the evals and you go, those are pretty hard evals.
Right.
They're doing so well. But the economic impact seems to be dramatically behind.
Yes.
And it's almost like it's very difficult to make sense of how can the model, on the one hand, do these amazing things, and then on the other hand, like repeat itself twice in some situation in a kind of an example would be, let's say you use vibe coding to do something and you go to some place and then you get a bug. And then you tell the model, can you please fix the bug?
Yeah.
And the model says, oh my God, you're so right. I have a bug. Let me go fix that. And it introduces a second bug.
Yeah.
And then you tell it, you have this second bug.
Right.
And it tells you, oh my God, how could I have done it? You're so right again. And brings back the first bug.
Yeah.
And you can alternate between those.
Yeah.
And it's like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not sure. But it does suggest that something strange is going on. I have two possible explanations. So here, this is the more kind of a whimsical explanation, is that maybe RL training makes the models a little bit too single-minded and narrowly focused, a little bit too, I don't know, unaware, even though it also makes them aware in some other ways. And because of this, they can't do basic things. But there is another explanation, which is back when people were doing pre-training, the question of what data to train on was answered because that answer was everything.
Yeah.
When you do pre-training, you need all the data. So you don't have to think, is it going to be this data or that data?
Yeah.
But when people do RL training, they do need to think. They say, okay, we want to have this kind of RL training for this thing and that kind of RL training for that thing. And from what I hear, all the companies have teams that just produce new RL environments and just add it to the training mix. And then the question is, well, what are those? There are so many degrees of freedom. There is such a huge variety of RL environments you could produce. And one thing you could do, and I think that's something that is done inadvertently, is that people take inspiration from the evals. You say, hey, I would love our model to do really well when we release it. I want the evals to look great. What would be RL training that could help on this task, right? I think that is something that happens, and I think it could explain a lot of what's going on. If you combine this with generalization of the models actually being inadequate, that has the potential to explain a lot of what we are seeing, this disconnect between eval performance and actual real world performance, which is something that we don't today exactly even understand what we mean by that.
I like this idea that The real reward hacking is the human researchers who are too focused on the evals.
对话开头提出了一个令人困惑的现象：现在的 AI 模型在各种复杂的标准化测试中表现惊人，看起来非常聪明，但是在实际经济活动中，它还没有产生翻天覆地的变化。很多时候在处理具体问题时，还是显得非常的一个笨拙。伊利亚提到了一个非常经典的例子：如果你让 AI 去修复一个 bug， 它修复好 A 却引入了 B， 你指出 B， 它道歉并修好了 B 以后，却又把 A 带回来了。这种在两个低级错误之间反复横跳的行为，证明了模型并没有真正的理解逻辑，而是进行某些概率性的补丁。AI 之所以能够在一些资格考试中拿到高分，是因为它拥有接近无限的解锁空间和模式识别能力。它见过所有的考题逻辑，但是真实世界的任务没有标准答案。就像修复 bug 要求的是对整个系统上下文以及因果关系的绝对精确性，所以这就会导致一个问题： AI 是博学的通才，但不是一个可靠的工匠。然而，为什么会出现这种情况？伊利亚表示，现在的模型大量依赖于强化学习来对其人类偏好。如果人类评测者喜欢听起来礼貌、有条理、坚定的回答，模型就会进化成这种外壳。所以，模型学好了讨好人类，它变得非常擅长模仿一种我很专业的语气，甚至在胡说八道的时候也保持这种语气。这就是为什么它会修好 A 却引入 B 还不停地道歉。他在表演一个负责的助手，而不是在执行一个严谨的逻辑。这种训练可能让模型变得专注但无知。为了追求某些特定的目标，比如说话好听、符合逻辑模板，它可能牺牲了通用逻辑的稳定性，导致连基本的常识都会出错。所以，伊利亚认为这种脱节是人为造成的。研究人员为了让模型在发布时看起来很强大，会专门针对评估测试来设计训练环境。就像一个学生为了应对考试专门刷模拟题，虽然考试分数很高，但是遇到实际工作就会出现问题。我们现在在处于 AI 的滤镜期，等这个时间过去以后，大家会发现，一个会道歉的 AI 并不值钱，一个不需要道歉能实实在在解决问题且不出现低级错误的 AI 才是我们真正等待的未来。好了，今天的科技新闻就到此结束了，感谢大家的收听，我们下期再见。